Hello everyone and welcome back to the Blackfoot Book Club and another volume of my essential film reviews collection. Welcome back everyone and thank you so much for being there. This woman deserves her revenge and we deserve to die. Originally planned as a single film, but after a final cut was over 4 hours long, together with producers the Weinstein Brothers, it was decided that the bride deserved 2 outings and 2 chances to kill Bill. With characters developed jointly by Q and U, Quentin and Uma for those unfamiliar with Tarantino films, and a mix of live action, Japanese anime, iconic actors with further parts written specifically for them, and a fractured non-linear timeline, this 4th Tarantino film seemingly has everything. And by the time you've watched chapter 5, you'll see what I mean. My appraisal of Kill Bill Volume 1 will be to very briefly outline the opening prologue and 4 of the 5 distinct chapters. For any Tarantino purists out there, yes, I have deliberately left out certain scenes of the brief outlines for each of the 4 chapters. In the remaining chapter, I aim to dissect this, scene by scene, with as few spoilers as possible, but with as much texture and Tarantino love as I can muster. Opening prologue. Opening with a distinctive nod to his inspirations of Japanese and Hong Kong cinema and martial arts films, Shore Scope is quickly replaced by a 1970s style feature presentation slide amid crackling and sound distortion. Black and white opening shot of a bride, bloodied, beaten and near death. The camera focuses on footsteps as they approach the bride, and with a monologue aimed at her predicament, he now wipes away some blood with a handkerchief, with Bill clearly visible. A gunshot takes us into the opening credits, with the terrific Bang Bang My Baby Shot Me Down by Nancy Sinatra. Key to note throughout the credits that the deadly Viper assassination squad are each given numbers. Chapter 1, brackets 2. A vicious and brutal knife fight at a suburban house is interrupted by a returning child from school and an unnamed character, her name is bleeped from the audio, who then narrates her reason for being there. This is the residence of Vanita Green, aka Copperhead, from the deadly Viper assassination squad, and previous member Black Mamba has paid her a visit to settle an old score. A brief scene that is soaked in Tarantino Hong Kong homages, from the ear-blistering sound effects to a crunching and violent knife fight that is manically edited and brilliantly choreographed. Chapter 2, The Blood-Spattered Bride. A flashback sequence to local sheriffs surveying the scene of the bride's massacre, and light relief from both the music, That Certain Female by Charlie Feathers, and the sheriff's son immortal line, hell, they even shot the coloured fella who played the organ. As the bride recovers at the hospital, we are introduced to another member of the deadly Viper assassination squad, L. Driver, aka California Mountain Snake. Chapter 3, The Origin of O-Ren. Japanese anime style account of a violent, graphic and bloody path taken by deadly Viper assassination member O-Ren Ishii, aka Cottonmouth, from childhood to leader of the Yakuza crime family. The violent anime is juxtaposed with the hauntingly beautiful The Grand Duel by Louis Bacalov, and another example of the Tarantino trademark of juxtaposing violence with great beauty. Chapter 4, The Man from Okinawa. The film's heartbeat chapter, so quiet, so beautiful and so typically Tarantino. one of his quietest, melancholic segments in any of his films, it is another full of juxtaposition. The character of Hattori Hanzo was written specifically for Sonny Chiba as a homage to his previous roles in Japanese films, and he plays the character brilliantly, as well as playing along in this almost slapstick interlude at times. Rotating from Japanese to English throughout, the first part takes place in a bar with huge smiles, awkward conversation and jokes abound. It's a particularly sweet and affecting scene. This is juxtaposed with part 2 of the scene, now above the bar and a room full of Hattori Hanzo samurai swords. A request is made, an acceptance received, and as Bill is white from a window pane, cue the beautiful Battle Without Honour or Humanity, which despite its title is heartbreaking and beautiful. Chapter 5, Showdown at House of Blue Leaves. Here Tarantino comes into his own. The chapter itself is split into 3 distinct segments. Firstly, with a narration from the bride, we flash back to discover how O-Ren Ishii became the Yakuza boss. We are also introduced to her loyal staff, Sophie Fatale, Go-Go and Johnny Moe, boss of the Crazy 88s. Secondly, the showdown with the Crazy 88s that has gone down in bloody movie folklore, starting with a pulsing excerpt from Ennio Morricone's Death Rides a Horse and holding Sophie Fatale hostage through to its bloody, limb-strewn conclusion is pure Tarantino. The bride, dressed in a full yellow jumpsuit, in a clear homage to Bruce Lee, takes on all comers with her trusty samurai sword. With flat-out brilliance from both the director and his leading lady, the showdown is also edited quickly. A constantly moving camera and camera angles, slow-motion shots, several Mexican standoffs, and tellingly, yet more Hong Kong cinema-tinged sound effects. This segment alone needs to be seen to be believed, however, only partway through her destruction of the Crazy 88s. Tarantino switches the colour to black and white, primarily to camouflage the extreme bloody exchanges, but this works to perfection, as does the homage colour change to blue towards the end of the scene. The intense nature of the scene is broken typically by Tarantino with a hilarious short sequence before we enter the final showdown. Entering a snow-covered picture book style rooftop garden, the assassins approach each other, step by step, covered by one long lingering shot. Mixing Japanese and English again, the tension is raised still further as the shots are now of extreme close-ups on both protagonists. Mixing beauty with violence yet again, the rooftop garden is beautifully decorated with slow motion snow falling in the background. Slow motion. Plus a cutaway to a water fountain. The metaphor is heightened further by the assassins themselves. O-Ren Ishii in immaculate white, the bride blood-spattered and weary. As they come together, another masterful choice of music begins, Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood by Santa Esmeralda, and with yet more homage shots of slow motion and close-ups on the eyes, the final showdown commences. At the end of a breathtaking 3-segment chapter, we fade to the strains of the beautiful The Flower of Carnage. How very apt. With notable cameos from Michael Bowen, returning from a cameo in Jackie Brown as Buck, and father and son Michael Parks and James Parks as Earl McGraw and Edgar McGraw respectively. Both reprised their roles in a future Tarantino film, and Michael Parks provides a career-best cameo in Kill Bill, Volume 2. Unsurprisingly, it is Uma Thurman who deserves the plaudits, and it is a truly masterful performance. The role of the bride required everything from composure to anger, regret to fulfillment, triumph and sorrow. All is evident, as is a skilled use of a samurai sword, which is pulled off magnificently. Interspersed throughout with Hattori Hanzo's edicts for life as a narration, a fractured timeline that suggests the bride has only just started, and an auteur at the very top of his game. A soundtrack that is utterly fantastic and highly recommended. Oh, and someone called Bill. Do you remember him? He doesn't really feature in his film at all. Appetite whetted? Good. On with the show. And with one silly blooper, that was Kill Bill Volume 1, directed by Quentin Tarantino. Coming soon is Kill Bill Volume 2, and by far the better film, considering how great Kill Bill Volume 1 is. Is that your appetite whetted? Perhaps not for my reading of it, obviously, but I would certainly recommend you watching both of the films and treat yourself. And to return to a theme that I'm going to continue with throughout these videos, open a bottle of wine, crack open a packet of chocolate biscuits, perhaps 2 even, and watch Kill Bill Volume 1 and Kill Bill Volume 2 back to back. You'll never feel more alive. Anyway, I'll end this madness by thanking you for watching. I hope the world is spinning and turning in your favour, in your corner of the world. Thanks for watching. Peace everyone, and solidarity. Thanks again for watching. Kill Bill Volume 2, coming soon. Peace.